Hello, and welcome back. We are learning about tactical capacity, which you will remember is any behavior that is not a technically explicit behavior. Tactical capacity is the behavior that enables you to be a role model for your direct reports. It's the behavior that guides operational improvements. It's the behavior that guides others through change, and it's the behavior that allows you to sustain excellence on the job. Organizational tactical capacity is born in the hearts and the minds of every single person that comprises the organization. In essence, it is the combined energies of all individuals at any given time and in any given place. And so, in its simplest form, it is the interactive behavior driven by individual thoughts and feelings. And these behaviors can only be achieved by honing your skills that arise from the core principles that form the three domains of the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership: self-awareness, collaboration, and connection. We are working toward you writing your personal purpose statement, which is one of the 10 principles of influential leadership and is within the domain of self-awareness. Your ability to focus is a crucial attribute for awareness. But before we take a deep dive into focus for performance excellence, I want you to just relax for a moment and just quietly acknowledge any worries that may be weighing heavy in your mind and on your heart. It's important that you not allow negative or worrying thoughts to remain within your mind. When they do happen, and they will, as it's part of what makes us human, you will learn to allow your thoughts, to acknowledge them, and then take action that will dismiss them. One quick and easy way to take away any worrying thought is to turn your focus to gratefulness. Your brain cannot keep a worrisome thought at the same time as it is focusing on gratefulness. What's more, you may be thinking, sure, I'm always grateful. But it is the conscious exercise of gratefulness that is a hugely powerful tool. It is a tool that can be drawn on by you at any time and in any place. See, it's not just about counting your blessings. The real power comes from the feelings that these thoughts create within you. That overwhelming feeling of love and peace. The feelings of being blessed that brings with it an understanding that I am good, I am great, and I am enough, right here, right now. The script for your gratefulness exercise is very personal and unique to each one of you. But for today's purposes, I have adapted from my friend Dina Proctor's 3x3s to lead you in a mini-med. And by the way, all of Dina's 3x3s are available on her website, www.dinaproctor.com, for 99 cents US. So now, please, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath. Welcome to the mini-med for gratefulness. For the next couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably, and for the next few minutes, just let your body, every muscle, completely relax any tension right now. And as you feel your body relaxing every muscle, just releasing any tension, you may also notice that your mind is relaxing as well. Just settling in to a deep feeling of calm, warm peacefulness. As you settle into this wonderful, peaceful state, let your mind show you images of those things you most deeply appreciate in your life. There's no need to make it happen. Just in your relaxed state, invite your intuitive knowing to present images, memories, and thoughts of the events, circumstances, and people in your life for which you feel deep, deep gratitude and deep appreciation for. Just let these memories, these images show themselves in the screen of your mind. Each one, let yourself feel the emotion of deep, deep gratitude and of profound appreciation for this person or this situation. When your body, mind, and soul unite as one in deep gratitude for these amazing, amazing people and things in your life, and as you let your body take one last deep, deep breath in, anchor in this emotion of gratitude physically and emotionally so that you can come back and reconnect to it whenever you feel drawn to it. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? Across from you? What sounds do you hear? The first step in developing the skill of positive presence is our ability to assess our personal energy flow through our feelings. Although many of us are automatically tuned in to our feelings, there are many, many more of us that are not, because chances are we've been told on numerous occasions throughout our life, you shouldn't feel like that, or just suck it up. In order to teach our mind to tune in to our feelings, we have to first develop the ability to focus within ourselves. A regular review of those feelings and or behaviors that are reflective of a positive energy flow is important. But maybe more important is knowing what we need to avoid. So go back to sessions 3 and 4, part 1, often to review. A good friend of mine, Dina Proctor, has developed a very simple and quick technique to focus within. Dina is a best-selling author, speaker, and coach for corporations and individuals. Her 9 minutes a day, 3x3 technique, which is 3 minutes, 3 times a day, delivers impactful changes. Dina's work has earned the support of co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Jack Canfield, renowned cell biologist, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and professional coach and teacher, Bob Doyle, from The Secret. And she also received a featured presence on Marie Shriver's blog, among many others. So how do we develop the ability to focus within ourselves? In Dina's book, Madly Chasing Peace, How I Went from Hell to Happy in 9 minutes a day, on page 141, she describes the foundation of her technique. Dina first says, "Many times I will do nothing more than sit quietly with my eyes closed and count how many times my heart beats during the 3 minutes. When I first started meditating, I tried counting how many breaths I took, but kept getting distracted. Maybe because there was so much time between breaths that my mind had a chance to wander. For whatever reason, putting a hand over my chest to feel and count my heartbeats with my eyes closed keeps me completely focused. Even if my thoughts are negative or overwhelming before I sit down to meditate, distracting myself with this little task always gives me relief from the stress and my negative thoughts." And secondly, Dina says, "Another way for me that helps is to have a mantra or some words that I can repeat over and over during the 3 minutes to give my crazy mind something to put its focus on. My favorite mantra that I use when I'm feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or paralyzed with fear is, I'm open, I'm willing, show me, guide me from within. This mantra puts space around whatever thoughts are choking me and creates an opening inside of me for willingness, letting go, and a bit of peace. You can choose whatever words suit you. Other examples are, first, I know there is another way to approach this. Just because I can't see it right now doesn't mean it's not there. I am open to the possibility of a new idea, a new way of doing this. Another example of a mantra might be, there is space inside me for new ideas to flow in and to show themselves. I don't have all the answers, and I don't need to. I'm open to new ideas. So there you have it, the first step in the skill of positive presence, the ability to focus within ourselves. Just set the timer on your phone for 3 minutes, 3 times a day, and you are on your way. If you find at first that 3 minutes is just too long to do this, then start with just 1 minute and increase the timer by 15 seconds every day until you've made it to the 3-minute mark. You will soon notice that the 3 minutes flies by in no time at all. And when that happens, if you like where you are, give yourself permission to stay there just a few seconds longer. What it takes to be an achiever is not a secret. One of the most basic truths in life is that we will end up where our attitudes and our actions take us. As a leader in healthcare, you are leading a workforce that is made up of what we call knowledge workers, people whose jobs require formal and/or advanced education and are typically professionals in their own right, and who must bring their specialisms and expertise together for a common purpose. In healthcare organizations, productivity, process efficiency, and quality service lies for the most part within the working brains of your people, right down to the front lines. That being said, it is a must that you and your people understand what is necessary for a fully functioning, highly optimized working brain, both within you as an individual and within the environment in which you work. To help with understanding, we will be looking at the attributes of performance excellence focusing system. As an influential leader, you cannot ask others for their best until you first invest the necessary time and effort to be your very best self. Influential leaders look within themselves to acquire new skill sets and a new mindset. You are creating the habits that will lead to a new mindset, a mindset that is positive and energized and continually strengthens its ability for discipline, agility, and resilience. There are 5 basic things that influential leaders do in order to consistently achieve their goal to be the best they can be. These 5 attributes of achievement apply at work. For example, pursuit of a sales goal, improving a process, managing a project, and they apply in your personal life as well, such as physical fitness, saving and investing, or improving our relationships. These attributes are interrelated, and no one of them can be mastered without the other. First, manage your goals. This means making the decision to achieve. Decide what you want to accomplish in life and at work, and make it your purpose. Next, manage your action. You must develop the discipline to achieve. The best results are produced by those who take the most effective action. Manage your attitude. Having the passion to achieve is a frame of mind. It is your mindset. A positive attitude is the result of a proactive, disciplined way of thinking. It is intentional and purposeful. It is a skill unto itself. It is the skill of positive presence. Manage change means having the flexibility to achieve. Success requires constant adjustment and belongs to people who are able to manage change and adapt to new circumstances. And finally, manage adversity. Develop the mental toughness to achieve. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one wants it, but everyone experiences it. Building your skill of positive presence creates thought and behavior habits for cognitive strength. So let's take a closer look at the first attribute of the Performance Excellence Focusing System. Manage your goals, the decision to achieve. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it. So get focused and define success for yourself. Identify, pursue, and achieve your goals. Be clear about what you want to accomplish. Putting your goals in writing helps you think through what you want to achieve and why, your values, your purpose. When you put a goal in writing, you give it clarity and you think about it more deeply. You are able to physically see the goal in written form, and you convert the goal into something real and tangible that stares back at you from the page and challenges you to make it come true. Be committed. It takes a personal commitment, a decision, to make a true goal. Commitment is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you've already done. A goal is not something you would like to achieve. A goal is something you are committed to achieving. When you look at your list of goals, always ask yourself, am I truly committed to each goal? And if there is a goal you are uncertain about, drop it from your list until you make the commitment. Be specific. Goals are not merely fuzzy wishes. The more specific and detailed you are in describing a goal, the better your chances of achieving it. Be specific improves the clarity of goal and forces you to think about what it will take to achieve it. Set a deadline. A deadline gives you a time target and a sense of urgency. If you want to achieve a goal, know exactly what you want to accomplish and when. The benefit of setting a deadline is that you fix your goal in time, not just in your mind. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. Make it something you can measure. Measurement is a way of keeping score. It lets you see what progress you have made and how far you have to go. It also tells you what is working and what is not working. And establish milestones. Milestones are intermediate targets designed to keep you on track toward your goal. They help you make consistent progress over time, and they tell you where you are on the journey. The key to achieving a challenging long-term goal is achieving lots of smaller, short-term goals. We feel better when we are making progress. Consider what you want to achieve in your lifetime, or at least by a significant and distant age in the future. Setting lifetime goals gives you the overall perspective that shapes all other aspects of your decision-making. This is your purpose. Michelangelo said, "The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it. Rather, our aim is too low and we achieve it." The second attribute of the Performance Excellence Focusing System is manage your action, the discipline to achieve. Again, the best results are produced by those who take the most effective action. Your action is the critical bridge between what you want and what you achieve. A single act does not produce results. Sustained action over time produces results. You have to be willing to pay the price. You can have pretty much anything you want in life if you are willing to pay for it. Your willingness to pay the price, that is your willingness to do the hard work and make the necessary sacrifices, is what gives you the power to achieve. Be careful of hoping for more than you are willing to work for. Goals must be motivating, so make sure you write down why it's valuable and important to you. Ask yourself, if I were to share my goal with others, what would I tell them to convince them it was a worthwhile goal? You can use this motivating value statement to help you if and when you start to doubt yourself or lose confidence in your willingness to do the work necessary to actually make the goal happen. For any goal, discipline is essential. Performance excellence, peak performers, and influential leaders make the decision to achieve and maintain the discipline to achieve. Discipline is the consistent doing of a thing despite the fact that it is sometimes uncomfortable, inconvenient, or difficult. A decision that lacks discipline will quickly fade when faced with the hard work that achievement demands. It takes one level of commitment to set a goal, and it takes another level of commitment to achieve it. And finally, beware of the law of diminishing intent. This universal law acknowledges that the more time that passes before you take action, the greater the likelihood that you will not take action. Many people set goals but fail because they are slow to get going. They have good intentions, but they put off taking action. As a result, they never get started and they don't achieve their goals. Do something now to put your goals into action. Now is the time to develop and implement an action plan. Your plan sets out and focuses your attention on the specific daily actions you need to take to achieve your goals and fulfill your purpose. Manage your attitude. The passion to achieve is the third attribute of the Performance Excellence Focusing System. The words of James Allen clearly make the link between attitude and achievement. He said, "All that a man achieves and all he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. As he thinks, so he is, as he frames the attitude that creates his circumstances. His condition is his own and not that of anyone else." So be fully engaged. Approach life every day with enthusiasm. Nothing great was ever achieved without passion. Passion is a powerful force of energy for success. Passion is a self-generated tool. You have the ability to motivate yourself. You concentrate on your purpose, to get yourself excited about what you do. Your attitude sets the mood for everyone around you. Remember your 20 square feet? Others get excited if you are excited. If you are fascinated, so are they. Recommendations you give to others that come from the heart have a greater impact. Be positive. When you focus on negative things, you demotivate, de-energize, and discourage yourself and the people around you. When you focus on positive things, you motivate, energize, and encourage yourself and the people around you. Your attitude profoundly affects your performance, for better or for worse. At the heart of your attitude are your beliefs and values. Unfortunately, many people cling to beliefs and attitudes that restrict rather than empower their performance. Your attitude is the way you look at life. It is the way you choose to see events, people, and yourself. A positive attitude is the result of a positive, disciplined way of thinking. It is intentional and purposeful. Be persistent. Be tenaciously persistent in the pursuit of your goals and your dream. Discipline yourself to stay emotionally engaged and positive. You cannot be an influential leader if you do not have a positive attitude. For influential leaders, attitude is not determined by their circumstances, but how they respond to their circumstances. Leadership has less to do with position and more to do with disposition. Your attitude will influence others around you. Great leaders understand that the right attitude will set the right atmosphere, which enables the right responses from others. And refocus and reframe when your attitude becomes negative. Don't dwell on the negative. When there is a problem, acknowledge it and then focus on finding solutions and opportunities. Don't waste your emotional energy on being negative, disruptive, and counterproductive. A negative attitude is the result of negative thinking. Some say it is a lack of mental discipline. I say that for most people, it is nothing more than a bad habit of which they aren't even aware of. As you develop your skill of positive presence, you will develop the necessary awareness for breaking the habit. New habits require new neural pathways, so it's important to consciously stop and reframe your thoughts to be positive over and over and over again, until the new neural paths for positive thought are strong enough to become automatic. They become your new thought habits. Your attitude is not something that happens to you. You are the architect of your frame of mind. One of the most powerful forces on earth is a soul on fire. There is nothing stronger than a leader with a firm direction and a passion to get there. The fourth attribute is manage change, the flexibility to achieve. It's often your ability to handle change and adapt that determines the quality of your life. Don't resist, resent, or complain about change. Respond to it. Be flexible. Learn to adjust and make mid-course corrections as you pursue your purpose and vision. Success requires constant adjustment. It is your responsibility to make the change you need to achieve your goals. If what you're doing isn't working, change it. Doing more of what doesn't work just doesn't work. Accept the fact that change is constant. Change, even change we desire, comes with an inherent element of disruption. This disruption stems from the need to break with one set of habits to break through to a new set of more effective habits. Being stubborn or getting angry won't make change you do not desire go away, but it will make change more difficult to deal with as you struggle to move forward. Wise up and toughen up. You have a fixed amount of emotional and intellectual energy. Do not waste time and energy resisting changes you need to make to move to a higher level of performance. It is your responsibility to support the change effort in your organization. Life is about making adjustments. Understand that change always means giving up something. Don't be stubborn. Have the courage to let go. Success goes to those who are really good at creating alternative courses of action. It's easy just to think that people resist change out of sheer awkwardness and lack of vision. However, you need to recognize that for some, change may affect them negatively in a very real way that you may not have foreseen. For example, people who've developed expertise in or have earned a position of respect from the old way of doing things can see their positions severely undermined by the change. You have to work hard to change an organization successfully. It requires careful planning, patience, and effective and continuous communication. True victory comes when change becomes part of your organizational culture. Learn to reposition yourself. Our rapidly changing world deals ruthlessly with people and organizations who fail to adapt. If you think changing is tough, wait and see how difficult life and work become if you do not change. Success belongs to people who are able to manage change and adapt to new circumstances. And finally, the fifth attribute of the performance excellence focusing system is manage adversity, the cognitive strength or mental toughness to achieve. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one wants it, but everyone experiences it. Don't be surprised when there are obstacles, setbacks, and problems. Be mentally tough. Maintain your focus. In response to adversity, the critical issue is not how do you feel, but what needs to be done. That is where your focus must be. In his book, QBQ, The Question Behind the Question, John G. Miller emphasizes how to manage adversity by focusing on two questions. First, what can I do to move us forward? And second, how can I help move us forward? These two questions help us avoid procrastinating, blame shifting, and becoming a victim to our circumstances. Adversity requires you to develop a great deal of optimism. Optimism, therefore, is an important component of achievement and is especially important in times of chaos, change, and turbulence. Those who have an optimistic outlook will roll with the punches, will be more proactive and persistent, and will not abandon hope. Optimists tend to see the glass always as half full, so the saying goes. They view adversity in their lives as temporary, specific, and external. That is not entirely their fault, as opposed to pessimists who view adversity as unchangeable, pervasive, and more personal. So, where does optimism come from? Is it something we are born with, or is it learned? For some lucky individuals, being optimistic comes naturally. The good news is that for those who don't have it naturally, and that's a lot of us, optimism is an attitude that can be learned and practiced. Cognitive strength, or mental toughness, is a choice we make every day. So avoid negative environments. If this is not realistic, make every effort to seek the company of positive individuals in your organization and at home. Sometimes this may mean fraternizing with peers in other departments. Stay away from the professional complainer. Celebrate your strengths. The key to high achievement and happiness is to focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Focus on what you do well. Take care of your spiritual and emotional well-being. Read inspirational material on a daily basis. This may be different for each person. Some may be inspired by daily quotations, others by reading biographies of successful people in their field, and yet others may derive inspiration from reading about all the innovations that we are graced with. Check out the World Future Society website, which keeps up with new innovations around the world. Manage or ignore what you cannot change. When faced with setbacks, identify what you can change and proactively try to find ways to do something about it. We have often heard this advice, and it bears repeating. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, while we may not be able to control all that happens to us, we can control what happens inside us. Adapt your language and outlook. Consider how a simple shift in language you use can make a difference in your outlook. Do you frequently say, yes, but, in response to a team member's suggestions? The but automatically negates anything you have said in the beginning part of the sentence. A simple shift to yes and might makes a positive difference. Check the emails you have sent recently. Count the proportion of negative to positive words. It could be enlightening. Focus outside yourself. Take time for important people in your life or pursuits and projects that fire you up. Bertrand Russell once said that the quickest way to make ourselves miserable is to continually focus on ourselves. It was his love of mathematics that kept him going. Nurture a culture of optimism. When you are in charge of other people at work, expect people to succeed. Even when they occasionally fail to achieve what they set out to do, be an encouragement so that they can tackle the next challenge. A simple, I know you'll do better the next time, can have very positive effects on the performance of others. Cultivate spontaneity. Consider putting aside all your plans once in a while to take a walk with your kids, play a game, or watch a movie. Getting out of your comfort zone by being spontaneous helps to develop your optimistic muscle, as spontaneity essentially involves an expectation of having a pleasurable experience. Consider the health benefits. If you need an extra motivation for practicing optimism, consider the statistics linking optimism to greater health. There is ample scientific evidence suggesting that immune systems among optimistic people are far stronger than among pessimists. Managing adversity requires resilience. Resilience is the ability to harness inner strength and respond effectively when you get knocked down by life's inevitable difficulties. Resilient, optimistic people do not dwell on setbacks. Instead, they focus their attention and energy on taking action to make things better. They get knocked down, but they always get back up. More than education, more than experience, more than training, it is the level of resilience and optimism that will determine who succeeds and who fails. Beware of limiting beliefs. People are truly capable of accomplishing much more than they think they are. The 4-minute mile barrier provides a classic example. At one time, people believed it was impossible to break 4 minutes in the mile. Then, on May the 6th, 1954, Roger Bannister of Great Britain broke the 4-minute mark, and with a time of 3:59.4. Less than 2 months later, John Landy of Australia ran 3:58, and within 1 year, 37 other runners broke 4 minutes. The year after that, 300 more runners broke the 4-minute barrier. Today, the world record for the mile is 3:43.13. You may remember the story of George Danzig from Cynthia Kersey's book, Unstoppable. This is a perfect example of what can happen when a self-limiting belief is removed. The unsolvable is truly solvable. And finally, I remind you of the words of Bob Proctor, who starred in the movie The Secret. Keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you put your mind to. All you have to do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can't. Once you have made up your mind to do it, it's amazing how your mind begins to figure it out. So just imagine, let's take just a moment to think about what you could achieve in your life and at work if you consistently applied this formula. Crystal clear goals, plus disciplined action, plus positive, enthusiastic attitude, plus ability to manage change, plus the mental toughness to overcome adversity. If you have super focus for super success, what would it feel like? What would it look like? Whatever your current circumstances, you will rise and fall, succeed or fail on your ability to manage your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately your behavior. It is vitally important to understand that when it comes to workplace behavior, we are all leaders because it is through our own personal behavior competency that we influence others. Influential leaders live in a daily discipline of renewing their minds in order to embrace virtually every life event with the necessary flexibility and adaptability to maximize performance. It takes courage to intentionally put your mind on things of great importance in order to maintain focus. And then it takes even more courage to apply deliberate and disciplined action to renew your mind and improve your behavior. Your behavior is a product of three factors: your vision and values, how you choose to look at the world around you and interpret events that impact your life; your expectations and purpose, what you choose to believe to be true about the world in which you live; and your emotions and mindset, the energy released from the feelings that are generated by your vision and expectations. Mental toughness is a hallmark characteristic trait of high-level performers. Another term for mental toughness is cognitive strength. Becoming convinced of a truth and acting on that truth consistently, day in and day out, requires cognitive strength, and cognitive strength is acquired through self-discipline. Cognitive strength is the mental edge that enables you to perform at high levels during times of stress, fatigue, and moments that require you to perform at your absolute best. Cognitive strength is the acquired ability to be more determined, more resilient, more focused, and more emotionally controlled under pressure. Greek philosopher Plato wrote, "The first and best victory is to conquer self." Change is essential for performance of any kind. As the environment changes around you, you too must change. Organizational performance is driven by personal breakthroughs. Personal breakthroughs are driven by behavior change. This level of intentional behavior change requires understanding that performance is essentially about behavior, and behavior follows from your personal values, your beliefs, and your thinking. High-performing organizations are linked to a fundamental purpose, and they pursue it with a great sense of urgency. The same adage is true for individuals. In order to be consistent and maintain harmony, your values and beliefs must align with those of your organization in which you are a part. As you hone in on your own personal purpose statement, you must look at the mission of your organization. Where do you fit in? Then look at the mission of your business unit. Where do you fit in? What is your part? Then identify what adjustments, if any, you need to make. And finally, what obstacles do you need to overcome? I previously mentioned Dr. Fresina's story about one of his clients that used the sessions of influential leadership to communicate powerful messages to the associates in his company. He said to them, "This is not a trivial exercise. Take it very seriously for yourself and for your company. For yourself, because if you implement these principles in your personal life, you will accomplish great things. And for the company, because if you implement these principles here, you will accomplish great things. And what you are able to achieve is what we are able to achieve." The skill of positive presence, your ability to adjust for and create a positive and energized mindset through conscious thought processes, requires a focused self-awareness for a new way of thinking and being. It is a way of thinking that focuses on improving the emotional energy flow within us and around us, at home, at work, and in our community. It is a purposeful way of thinking and behaving that brings us life and strengthens every human relationship. And in the same way we exercise for physical strength and wellness, we will take a few moments to listen to a mini-med to exercise for cognitive strength and train our brain. The music that accompanies the mini-meds is a type of brainwave music. Brainwave music has been proven to move a person into a more positive mental and emotional attitude. The clip that you are hearing is typical of the theta brainwave state, which has proven benefits such as a deeper connection to one's emotions, increased intuition, greater levels of energy and relaxation, enhanced self-awareness, and a greater ability to enter into a highly focused, effortless state of learning. So please, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath. Welcome to the mini-med for training your brain. For the next few minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably and find a place of calm, peaceful stillness within you, letting any thoughts and any tension melt completely out of your body. As you let your body settle in, and as you feel your shoulders relaxing and your thoughts releasing, I invite you to consider a visual representation of the neural pathways of your brain, the thought patterns of your brain. You might imagine them to be like roadways, or railroad tracks, or canyons where energy or water would flow through them. And identify in your brain which are the old thought patterns, the old pathways that you wish to withdraw attention and energy from, and then identify where the newly formed pathways are being laid. Two separate areas of your brain. Like roadways or paths, one well-worn and one newly formed. Now imagine that the energy source that has been wearing down those old brain patterns, those old neural pathways, that energy source is withdrawing, like a riverbed drying up from lack of water. Those old, worn pathways are drying up and no longer being used regularly. The energy source is shifting. You can feel it shift. You know that it's shifting and leaving behind the old pathways. The energy is flowing toward the newly formed pathways. It's physically altering the way that you think and the way that your mind works. This energy source gently flows, softly shaping new thought patterns, new ways of thinking, new pathways in your brain and in your mind. This energy source is deepening the new pathways, so that they will become your most well-worn ways of thinking. So now, take one more moment and imagine this energy source deepening and solidifying new neural pathways in your brain, gently withdrawing attention where you no longer like it to flow, and easily and effortlessly maintaining and shaping your new thought patterns, from here, going forward. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? What sounds do you hear? We are now going to take time for reflection. This reflection time is referred to as table time because this exercise is created to be shared with a discussion group of your peers. Feel free to gather around a table with your colleagues or head over to Corporate Harmony's virtual discussion group. This is also a time to stay focused on task. Be present in the moment, right here. You will see notes pages at the end of the manual section for personal use in gathering insights and questions as you move through the material. So take time to put pen to paper. There are never any wrong or bad answers. Seeing your words on paper allows your brain to open up to even greater possibilities. Putting your thoughts and feelings to words on paper opens your mind to your inner wisdom and greatness. Enjoy this time and share your insights with the discussion group. You will find this slide on page 23 of Chapter 2 in your manual. It might also be helpful for you to refer to Section 1, Manage Your Goals, the decision to achieve, on pages 7 through 9. Next session, we will be looking at the third principle of the self-awareness behavior domain, accept responsibility and ownership of self. So, until then, live each moment of each day with harmony and purpose, and allow your grandest dreams to come true.